I'd like to call to order the Shakopee School District regular business meeting for August 25, 2025. Tiffany, can you please do the roll?
Yes, Zidek.
Here.
Valdez.
Yes.
Peterson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Aldridge.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Brophy.
Here.
Bryan and Shania.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening and welcome, everybody. We have a couple of distinguished guests tonight, which we'll get to soon, but prior to that, we have item 3.1 on our agenda, which is always our favorite part of the evening, our Saber Pride. Item 3.1 is our Shakopee Alumni Association 2025 Hall of Fame honorees. And here to present is Pat Pass, our SAA lead and community member. And assisting her is Tiffany Olson, our Director of Communications and Strategic Development.
Pat won't need a whole lot of my support, but I'm here for moral support over here to make sure. She has so many good stories to share on these wonderful individuals. We may turn into a little Oprah style setting where we do a Q&A, but she's got some great stuff teed up for us.
Well, Superintendent Redmond Board, thank you for letting us come tonight, tell you a little bit about us. We're the Shakopee Alumni Association, as most of you know, just a little history. We started in 1998 under the direction of John Anderson. It was run through the high school athletic department, and it was strictly athletic Hall of Fame. Then in 2013, SEEF took over. And they did a distinguished Hall of Fame. The Alumni Association, in conjunction with the school district, took over the Alumni Association Hall of Fame, and we went with a distinguished Hall of Fame and an athletic Hall of Fame. They are two separate. The Hall of Fame event is one account. I should say we have two accounts. Hall of Fame is one account. The other account is the Angel Fund. And that's a separate fund where we raise money to help students that are on financial aid, like with yearbooks, prom tickets, and we also do $1 per scholarship each year through that fund. Money is raised through fundraisers like bingo, league raffles, and donations both large and small from alumni and community members. We have three outstanding, well, let me backtrack. Inductees are nominated every year by the public, and then we have definite criteria that the Alumni Association Board goes by to select our inductees. We can have up to 4 from each category if we want, or choose none from a certain category. We also have a category, they don't have to have graduated from Shakopee, and they're called Friend of the Schools. They're people that live amongst us, that do a lot for the community, they just didn't graduate from Shakopee. We have 3 outstanding inductees this year. Contrary, I'll start with the athletic ones. Contrary to what kids can do now, 2 are athletic inductees were 3 sport athletes that did very well in high school and won numerous awards. Nick Larson, the class of 2013, went on as a football player, a 3-year letter winner in football at the University of Minnesota, Duluth, and he was also all academic and SIC conference for 3 years. And Nick continued in education as a math online teacher in the Lakeville School District and a football coach at Bloomington Kennedy. Zach Hoffman, class of 2012, was also a 3-year letter winner in baseball, but at St. Cloud State, and he holds the school record up there for most career home runs at 35. He was all conference in 2015 and all region in 2015. Zach's a full-time fighter for the St. Paul Fire Department, and a part-time one for the city of Shakopee. Mary Nolting Wilson is our distinguished Hall of Fame inductee. Mary went to school to be a nurse, and while she was at Mankato, there was a class she didn't like, and so she asked her advisor I think I'd like to go into education. And he said, well, I'll let you change if you take this one class. And that got her hooked. So she graduated in early education from Mankato State. After working a few years, she set up what's called the Shakopee Child Learning Center. She owned and operated it from 1980 to 2015. Here in Shakopee, started out with 14 kids in her school, which graduated to be quite a few more than that over the years. She's educated many of the children in Shakopee. She prepared them for kindergarten, working with the current not the current, but the kindergarten teachers at that time to find out what the kids needed for a smooth transition in kindergarten. Mary's motto kind of was like, play is kids' work. So you learn through creativity and playing, that's how you learn. She retired, and the Valley News ran an article on her in 2016 and called her Mrs. Rogers. For those of you that are familiar with Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, they called her Mrs. Rogers. Through her school, her staff, and the parents that she had involved, they were very active in the community as well, participating in food drives, Christmas wish lists, and many other community events. Mary's past is kind of following her. She returned to Shakopee. All of our inductees have a personal interview we do with them. And she hasn't lived in Shakopee for a while, so she said, well, pick a place for me. So I went up to Pearson Young Early Childhood, because to me that was logical. And asked, and of course they were most cooperative, and said, of course we can do that. And I said, but if it's tomorrow? He said, that's okay, we'll make that work. So Mary happened to get there before we did. And lo and behold, she walks in the office and she's greeted by a parent of some kids she used to have, which was Elaine Barron's, and she had Elaine and Marty's kids in her early childhood program. And they take us down to the room we're going to be using, and turns out to be that's a parent of another child she had in school. So she got a real warm feeling coming back to Shakopee with all these people she knew and recognized. Mary's retired right now and thoroughly enjoying it. What I find so amazing about this is we have no idea what the people who live amongst us have done, and some that are doing it on a daily basis, and we have no idea what they're doing. That's been one of the real beauties of doing this. So, according to Dr. Redmond, it is a great day to be a saint.
And if I may, because she's just teed it up beautifully, Pat she's gonna be upset. She can get angry too. You gotta be careful sometimes, but she is one of those people that she just said sitting in front of you. So I know she did a great job sharing about other people, but Dollars for Scholars, you have this, you have.
Yeah.
See, look at her. She's like, so she is one of those as well.
Thank you, Pat.
Are there any questions?
No, but thank you for all you do.
Oh, you're welcome.
She runs
Next on our agenda is item 4, the consideration of the agenda is presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion by Aldrich and a second by Brophy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is item 5, public comment. This is the time where members of the public can participate in the meeting without being part of the meeting agenda. A member of the public may address the board on an agenda topic or on another topic. We allocate a total of 15 minutes for public comment at this meeting. Each individual speaker may speak for up to 2.5 minutes. The sign up for public comment has been conducted online and in person prior to this evening's meeting. Requests are not processed on an overall first come, first served basis. There's an element of first come, first served representing a specific viewpoint on a particular topic. If more than 6 speakers sign up for public comment, topics and speakers will be prioritized. Topics on this evening's agenda take priority over those topics not on the agenda. Speakers living within the school district take priority over those from outside the district. When speakers plan to share differing perspectives on the same topic, an effort is made to balance the quantity of speakers on each side of the topic. Public comment is conducted in accordance with School Board Policy 206, which can be found on the school district website. Persons who wish to address the school board during public comment must sign up prior to the start of the school board meeting and should provide their name and the subject to which comments pertain. Only those persons who have been recognized by the board chair will be allowed to speak during public comment or at any time during the school board meeting for that matter. No personal attacks will be allowed on any district employee, including school board members. As a reminder, school board members will typically only listen and not interact in any way with the public comment speaker. The board may, at its discretion, ask questions for clarification of an issue. We have one speaker tonight, and that is Mayor Matt Lehman. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. This is basically a check-in, hi, and thank you. No agenda, anything like that. I just wanted to share some of the newer folks here. You know, I've spoken with past superintendents, Mr. Anger. I've also met with your superintendent, Ms. Redmond, early on. My philosophy has been very simple for over 2 decades now. Some of the longer members of the board know my philosophy, and I wanted to share it with the rest of the board. Basically, I recognize that you folks are duly elected. You have the jurisdiction, the authority, and the accountability, frankly, to the district voters. And we really appreciate all that you do. The school district is a big part of Shakopee community. There's really, I kind of look at it from my perspective over 20 years that the only time that we really need to have interaction beyond our staffs are many things that we do jointly. And to be honest with you, a lot of the things that we do jointly, we do very well. We have a very good partnership with the school district. Our staffs work very good together. It might be a school safe crossing zone, it might be maintenance on joint fields, these types of things. But to be honest with you, when it comes to curriculum, education policy, that's your guys' forte. I'm not the guy that you want in the room. So I just wanted to stop by. I planned on doing this early in the year, mid-year, didn't work out. And so I just wanted to stop by and say, hi, I'm checking in. Thank you all very much for everything that you do. What you do is greatly appreciated and a very big part of Shakopee's community at large. So you're doing a great job on everything you're doing. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate. We do provide a liaison for that. Councilman Lahr is our liaison. Anything you want to send back to council, by all means, that's what he's here for. And so I just wanted to stop by and say thank you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. Next on our agenda is item 6, the consent agenda. And you see on the screen, we have personnel items, previous school board minutes, bills and authorizations, and wires. Second. We have a motion by Peterson, a second by Brophy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is item 7, donations approval. This is a resolution. Joe, did you want to?
I just want to say that, looking through the donations, that Air Science donated over $156,000 worth of value to the school district. Looks like most of it went to the high school, and I just want to thank them for their generosity. And I'll make a motion to approve the donations.
We have a motion by Aldrich and a second by Peterson. Yeah, I'd like to echo Joe's comments. Yeah, that's definitely worthy of note and a little bit bittersweet with their departure from the district area, but definitely grateful for their contributions as well as all the others on the list. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Tiffany, can you please do the roll?
Yep. Ziddick,
Yes.
Valdez,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Brophy.
Yes. Resolution passes. Next on our agenda is a legislative update, item 8.1. We have Representative Brad Tapke. Welcome, Representative.
Hello,
The floor is yours.
thank you. Well, I'm just happy that the mayor went after Pat and I didn't have to go over Pat. It is never good to have to follow Pat on things, so. I just, as we always do when we, just want to express my appreciation for all the work you all do. It's not an easy job on the school board, local service, and I just appreciate everything you guys are doing, especially with all the difficulties and things that are in front of us right now, and supporting students and making sure. So I just appreciate everything you guys are doing. I don't have a ton of stuff to say. It was a weird session, to say the least. It was, I had a lot of issues that were brought forward and talked about, but not really a whole lot of resolution on a lot of things. We had some really big bipartisan successes in a couple different areas, so that's good in when we're working with the Thai legislature in the House. And so we, Representative Bigberg and I get to work together on a lot of different shocking things, so it's good to have that relationship and be able to do that work. And so we have, we're partnering with Chamber on a workforce work skills bill for Shakopee, and so that's a really good thing that we made some progress on, and we, Ben and I are working on it this summer in order to get that to the next step, so we're able to get that that piece done. There's been some, I had a bill for Shakopee schools for long-term facility maintenance, and some other long-term LTFM work got done as well, and so that's been good. We are working on hospitality education grants, so it's been fun to go when we have Shakopee students in St. Paul for the tournaments and go and watching that, so having be part of that is really good as well. And then also, one of the bigger things that we actually did get done this year was work on absenteeism, and I'm not fully engaged in everything that is with that, and all the ins and outs and how that bill works. But that was one of the biggest things that we were able to get done policy-wise this year, and get that started in a really good bipartisan direction on things. So it's a huge issue across the state, and so I just appreciate everybody who's been working on that. And the second thing I wanted to mention was that this, in 2023, when we passed our big education bill in 2023, that had inflation added in for every year. And so this 2026 school year, fiscal year, we have 2.74 increase in inflationary increases to help cover things. It doesn't get full, as we've talked about multiple times here when I've been in the hot seat. It doesn't get us where we need to be financially on things whatsoever, but we are working to get there, working in that direction, so that we're making sure that we have fully funded education system and are able to give kids and teachers and everyone that goes along with that the support that they need. And so that is this year with no, even though we had a budget of, for this current biennium, a zero increase in budget, that zero increase already including the inflationary aspects of it. So that's 2.74 this year, then 3% next year, and 3% the year after. So it's capped at 3% inflation. So that will continue to go to make sure that we're getting something, and then hopefully in the near future we'll be able to have more more state funding coming as well, but it takes a lot of folks working together to get that done. So last thing I wanted to mention, it's really good that the mayor's here as well, is that there have been just an epidemic of pedestrian and bike fatalities over the course of the last year. So last year it hit a high of 233, I believe is the number, serious injuries and fatalities. There were 20 some of those were fatalities. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of them happen near schools. Thankfully, nothing like that has happened recently in the last couple of years here in Shakopee, but we need to make sure that we are working together with city, county, and the state. So as you all have places that are of concern and places that need to be have work done, the state has a ton of resources and a ton of financing available for helping these things. And I just came back from Moorhead on Friday because a little kid was killed crossing the street to get to school lunches in the summer, and it was really sad and tragic, and it was an issue that they knew had been there for a long time, and they knew that they should be doing something about it, just hadn't reached the priority level or whatever had happened. Kid is dead because of it. So it is a really sad story, and we don't want to have that happening here. So as community brings issues to you, and as there are things that we can help with from the state level, we have engineering help that we can do. There's Shakopee is really, really great at responding to these things. So as that comes up, I just want to make sure that was put out there. So as you have folks that are asking about things and there are things that we can do, always happy to help. So those are the main things that I want to make sure we're out there and answering questions folks have. Go ahead.
Sure, so thank you. Yes, I just would like to say to both the mayor and Representative Tapke, we're currently partnering with the city on the Safe Schools grant. You will see some changes to infrastructure, in particular around Sweeney, but also at Sunpath in the high school. We're working with city staff, Wold Architects, making sure that everything is done appropriately. So thank you to both of you for bringing that to our attention. I believe that the changes will be drafted, contracts will be out, and it'll be next school year before they're in place, but we've got some pretty extensive plans, and it's exciting, so thank you for bringing that forward.
I'm gonna add, it's not exactly the same thing, but again, since Mayor Lehman's here, and again, there's state support for that, but there's also work that's been completed over by Sunpath. You know, the sidewalk was extended for a block, you know, leaving school, and now that it's going the other direction, and with some changes that we made, and again, I think being proactive, you know, the way you're talking about that is really important, and I know, you know, I think when Assistant Superintendent McClousich and I first started looking into that, we heard from some folks in our organization, well, we looked at that, nothing can be done, and to be
suggestions for continued growth, specifically enhancing communication clarity, deepening connections, and further engaging with stakeholders. As part of aligning with the district's vision and priorities, the committee reviewed the measurement elements and was encouraged by the progress that had been made. They also acknowledged that ongoing efforts in each area are essential in order to reach the goals established by the school board. Overall, Dr. Redmond is recognized as a capable and mission-driven leader with opportunities to build on his successes and further strengthen relationships throughout the district. As a school board, we recognize that public schools across Minnesota face significant challenges ahead. However, we are reassured knowing that Shakopee has a strong leader in place to help us navigate those challenges and continue striving to be the best we can be for each and every student that is part of Shakopee schools, not only today, but those that will enter the doors in the future. So that is the summary that the Personnel Committee had put together at our August 11th meeting. And we appreciate everything that Dr. Redmond has done for our district for the past 8 years. And there's been a lot that has happened in education and Shakopee in the course of those years. And having that steady leadership and that presence has been greatly appreciated by so many, and that came through in the evaluation. So I will turn over to Caroline and Jeff, who are on the personnel committee as well, if there's anything you wanted to add or.
I don't know what I can add to that. Just my thanks.
Anybody else have any feedback or comments? Welcome to share them.
I think you've done a really great job. You're very personable. You're always there answering, picking up our calls if we have questions. So thank you for that.
Well, to rebuild the trust, we've had that conversation certainly as a board over the last several years. That consistency, that thing that takes a long time to build trust, it takes a second, right, to shadow that. So we appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, Christy. Next, our agenda is item 13, committee reports and other information. Let's start with Nick.
Well, we had the financial facilities meeting prior to this. And I know it's been a little while because our last, there was a gap in there, but I think we had a policy meeting in there now as well. But it's just been a busy summer, so I know I missed out on a couple of activities. I wish I would have been able to make it to the new teacher kickoff. It looked like it was a good time. Carve out some more time during the school year for some of things.
Thank you. Caroline?
I wasn't able to attend the community engagement because I had a conflicting committee with personnel. So I'll defer to Joe or Chad to cover that. But tomorrow we have another meeting for negotiations for the personnel.
Christy?
Yeah, negotiations tomorrow. We had a Southwest Metro Board meeting last Tuesday. I'm happy to share that for the first time in quite a few years. The district is fully staffed to start the school year. So that's great news. We welcome some international teachers for the upcoming year as well, which is always a wonderful thing to see. They're just great. They bring so much energy into the district. It has been a great experience for us. And we also last Tuesday approved both the teacher and the parent contracts, so those have been signed. Couple things coming up. I am going to Washington, D.C. with MSBA September 6th through the 8th. And we'll be meeting with all of our 10 congressional members, really focusing on fully funding our public schools, IDEA, or special education funding, and increasing that for what they promised us. And then also having some discussions about upcoming Medicaid and title funding reductions that we are anticipating in the next few years and the impact that's going to have on our schools. So always look forward to that trip. I think this is the third or fourth time that I've gone. I think it will be a different experience this year than it has been in years past. But it's always good to meet with our congressional members, and they're always very happy to see us and really like to engage with their constituents and talk about things that are concerning our schools. And we have a few small rural districts that are going, as well as a few metro districts that are going to be represented as well. And, specifically, we have somebody from Minneapolis board member going this year. They are going to be significantly impacted by the Medicaid and title funds that are coming. So it'll be good for them to present their information as well. And then have a state high school board meeting next week as well.
Thank you. Had the Finance and Facilities Committee meeting tonight, SE negotiations ongoing. And then I, along with Chrissy Tim, got to participate in the new teacher welcome last week. And I say it's one of my top 5 events. In addition to the Takata and high school graduations, the Saber tonight, and the feather and blanket ceremony. Those are like my top 5. And then And then there's also the Culture Fest, so maybe there's a top 6. But new teacher welcome, always out there, always entertaining experience. Joe?
I completely forgot we had a community engagement meeting before the last development meeting. I kind of looked it up. Sorry, Tiffany, it's nothing against you. That was a long night that night.
I know.
But one of the things we talked about in that meeting was over the next couple of weeks, there's back to school events. I'm going to be at West on Wednesday. Is that all set up? Hopefully, I said the best place to put it is like where the kids are getting pictures taken, just because it's the best time because they're kind of captured at that moment. So if they have any questions, they don't just walk by you. I know there's a lot of events coming up Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday next week. It's the 2nd and 3rd of the month. I'm kind of it's work. We had finance facilities. One of the things we brought up, we haven't had CPAC kind of as fell apart, and we developed a plan to get that back up and running. David, who was here, and I'm going to work with him to try to get that built back up.
That's the Citizens Financial
Citizens
Advisory
Financial Advisory Committees. I suppose we haven't said that in a while. It's been a long week today. And and I've been seeing that for years. That's the first time anybody. We had some communication with the levy that a few of us were in, and I guess I have to memorize my property ID so that Dr. Redmond doesn't take shots at me at meetings.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Where you go?
No,
Are you just surprised? Because I am actually.
I am surprised.
Thank you, Joe. Chad?
Yeah, I'll just add for community engagement, I'll send out an email, just as a reminder, there's a list of like all the back to school type stuff going on. If you're interested in attending any of those, I think, yeah, I signed up for East Middle School for the picnic, and I thought I signed up for the open house too, but I don't see my name on here, so I will leave that.
Thank you, Chad. Tim? Policy was well represented. I did attend the new teacher presentation. I didn't want to go on record, but I was told I wouldn't have any lines. And was forced to, they handed me the microphone. Yeah, which is a dangerous thing to do at that time of day anyway, but no, just a
Who
great.
promised you that?
I was handed like the script, but I was told you don't have any lines.
Nobody told me you
And
guys
then,
didn't
I
have.
hands the microphone over and I'm like, uh-oh.
I think I've been doing 7 years and I've never had to say.
I've never had to say a word.
I might have lived that part a
Yeah, I
little
think you
bit.
may have. But no, it was-
I knew I'd be saying a couple of things, but I did, just for the record, I did not hand the microphone to either of you, so.
Yeah, you're absolved of anything.
Yeah, all right.
You know, what a great event, the energy in the room, it's always a highlight. Just for the top 3.
Thank you, Tim. Tanya?
In terms of Good Trouble, so a recap on the project that they're trying to do at my school is a qualitative feedback tool. And the Good Trouble staff members, they're trying to represent several Minneapolis schools. And obviously Minneapolis is a different demographic than a school like Shakopee, which is in the suburbs. So they wanted to pilot it at a school like Shakopee. And so we got the conversations very positive. But they got involved with a lot of policy work at the state, at the Capitol this summer. So I guess conversation was positive. We're getting ready to start in September in terms of getting the feedback group started, because it will be almost, it's going to be like a focus group. So we hopefully by some other students that are actively leading at high school, we will be facilitating a discussion with other students and there is a list of objective broad questions to ask about student experiences, ways you would like to see the district react to student issues at the high school. So we have a list of questions that we will ask the students and we will want to the discussion. And it'll be notes will be taken candidly, critical, and really no adults and the students are super honest. But then Good Trouble has this very cool AI platform with the coolest of science. So yeah, the goal is to have the quality back to it and this year. I'm excited to be like more involved this year than I was last year. Julian was a competent community. Otherwise, my sister, she will be starting 6th grade this year. It's very exciting. So I will be going to rest of the school house on Wednesday. And I've gotten in touch with the teachers for some starts. That is, I might be doing this local actually for a potential history for next year. Yeah, I'm excited to see.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. I have to wait till college apps get over and then.
Thank you. Brian?
Well, I just want to apologize for coming late. I was working at the state fair and there's a lot of unexpected travel. I've had a really busy summer with work and just starting at the school board. I'm still trying to find my voice because obviously in the classroom I'm talking to my peers while on the school board I'm talking to a group of adults, which seems similar, but it's a very different dynamic. So I'm just trying to find my way and trying to learn how to manage my own opinions and what I can bring to the table. But besides that, actually at the state fair, my aunt, she sells giant egg rolls on a stick, and normally and usually sales year to year increase about maybe 10 to 15%, but this year, outrageously, we increased 96%.
Wow.
And the only thing we did different was we tried and I guess manage more of the social media aspect. So my aunt is the social media manager, so she's been delegating that, and we're actually running out of food to sell, so we kind of have to lay back on that, but that's just something that's been a part of my summer. And yeah, I thought it'd be really cool to share.
That's awesome.
And where is the booth?
It's on the corner of Dan Patch and Cooper, kind of by the food building, and I think it's the east gate.
Now I have to go back.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jim?
Yeah, just to previous points, high school open house tomorrow, middle school Wednesday, connect and assess next week at the elementary, so we'll welcome all of our little ones back in different ways. I'm out right now with Nick and Sarah, visiting with each principal, reviewing their site improvement plans for the year. A lot of really good work has been done, teacher-driven over the summer. As we have board check-ins over the coming months, we'll make sure that we're sharing out a little bit about that process and talking about what the buildings are working on. And I know we just went through our success measures and looked at some of the data, so we're keeping that front and center, and that's a big part of what our buildings are talking about. I've seen everything from Fast Bridge to attendance being a part of their goals, and I think it's really exciting to see what people are working on. Tiffany?
Yes, I'm gonna tag team on a lot of these things, very brief, but the back to school events, I do have Tim, potentially Brian, we can talk afterwards, set up for East, Joe at West. Hopefully we can get Shania and Brian to be around at the high school, and if that ends up working, and then some others will work through to make sure that you're all there. Those will be ready to go. I do want to point out you had a 4-page donation document. Joe did a great job of calling out Bear, but that welcome back event that we have is 100% funded by donations, from breakfast to everything that's given away to the quote-unquote meat raffle that has some meats, non-meats, seafood, all of the things in there. And it's just great every year. It's just, you get a little nervous asking for things just because, and there's never a no, and we always seem to get more than what we ask for. And then one piece I just wanted to echo on the part with the summary of superintendent evaluation is that I work with Dr. Redmond and Jim daily, and I can just attest on the record that everything that's in there and everything that they're doing to help run the school district is a part of why I'm here, in addition to students and others. And the integrity is very important to me personally, and that's what they both bring to the table. So I would like to echo that I'm very appreciative that the school board has selected leadership that you have, because it's going to help us continue to keep going in a great direction.
Thank you. Dr. Evan, last word.
I've spoken enough. I'm gonna just, one other thing, and I think it's, I think I always talk this way when we do superintendent evaluation. Carol and I love living in Shakopee. I mean, Shakopee's home. I say this quite often. My job certainly has its challenges and things like that, but I love coming to work. I love what I'm doing. I get to serve with outstanding folks on a school board. We get to serve a great community. We get to serve nearly 8,000 amazing students and their families, and that is certainly an honor and I think a privilege to play a role in that. And so every morning I enjoy it when I'm lying there. I'm still not a morning guy. I like coming to work every day. I was gonna say I like getting up in the morning. That part's out, but no, I love coming to work every day. There's some just great things happening. And I love when somebody, talks about, and it's not me, says it's a great day to be a Sabre, like started the first part of the meeting. So I thought they were spot on.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is item 14, the upcoming meetings and important dates. You can see on the page in board book, there's a link to the 2026 levy forum, which was mentioned previously. Got 2 dates coming up for that. September 16 and October 23. Any other thing you want to bring attention to on there? Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
did you want to, Mike?
I forgot to mention one thing. It's a girl. Gonna be a grandfather for the first time. So yeah, I found out this weekend it's a girl. So I should probably mention that. My bad.
Congrats.
Yeah.
With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. We have a motion by Aldridge and a second by Brophy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Being adjourned.